Hello and welcome to 6 Minute English. I'm Now and I'm Rod. You look tired, Prab. Well, I didn't sleep well last night. It was tossing and turning all night, but I couldn't get to sleep. Well, that's it. Considers as our topic today is insomnia. The conditions some people suffer from. They find it difficult to get to sleep when they go to bed. Thankfully, I don't really have insomnia, but every now and again, I find it too difficult to get to sleep. Well, keep listening, and we might have some advice to help you with that. But first, a question: what is the call for the longest a human has gone without a sleep? Is it A, about 7 days, B, about 9 days, and C, about 11 days? What do you think, Rob? All of those seem impossible, so I got to go to the shortest. It's about 7 days. Well, if you can stay awake long enough, I let you know at the end of the program. Dr. Michael Grander is the expert on things to do with sleep. He was interviewed recently for the BBC radio program Business Dailies. He was asked to have best tips were to help you to get sleep if you are finding it difficult. What were his suggestions? And it's all like counterintuitive, but trust me, I got a decade of data behind this statement. If you cannot sleep, get out of bed. So Rob, how does suggest you help yourself to get out to sleep? Well, actually, he said that the best thing to do is to get out of bed. That's the like actually exactly that sounds exactly the opposite. What should you do, doesn't it? Well, he did say that his advice is counterintuitive, which means exactly that. That is the opposite of what you might expect. And he said what that the is and he said that this is right. It backs up by decrease of the research. A decrease is periods of 10 years. When we say decrease, it's a general term for many from many years, at least 20. Let's hear that advice again from Dr. Grainer. It's a like counterintuitive, but trust me, I got the key of data behind this statement. If you cannot sleep, get out of bed. So, why is getting out of bed good advice? Here the lesson from Dr. Gaynor. When you in bed and you are not asleep and you do that over again from extended periods of time, the ability of the bed to boost you to sleep starts getting diluted. Not only that, it starts getting replaced by thinking, tossing and turning, and worrying and doing all that things. When you are not asleep, get out of bed. This is roughly one of the most effective ways to prevent chronic insomnia. It's also one of the really effective ways to treat it. It won't work 100% of the time, but it will actually work more than most people think. We normally sleep in bed, but we start to make it easy to sleep. But if we can't sleep, that make the better impact weaker. Is Dr. Guerrero say it dilutes it dilutes the power of the bed to help you sleep. When you dilute something, it makes you weaker. For example, you can dilute a strain or a strong fruit juice by adding water to it. So if we stay in bed, tossing and turning with the expression we use to describe moving around in the bed trying to get to sleep, we begin to think of a bed as a place where we don't sleep, rather is a place where we do sleep. So get out of bed to break the connection. This is a positive way to approach chronic insomnia. Chronic is an attitude that is used to describe condition that is long-lasting. So we're not talking here about occasionally not being able to get to sleep, but a condition where it happens every night. Let's hear Dr. Granner again. Where you are in bed and you are not asleep and you do that over and over again for extended periods of time, the ability of the bed to put you to sleep starts getting diluted. Not only that, it starts getting displayed by thinking and tossing and turning and worrying and doing all these things. When you are not asleep, get out of bed. This is roughly one of the most effective ways to prevent chronic insomnia. It's also one of the really effective ways to treat it. It won't work 100% of the time, but it will actually work more than most of the people think. Time to review today's vocabulary. But first, let's have the answer to the question. What is the record for the longest a human has gone without sleep? Is it A about 7 days, B about 9 days, or C about 11 days? What did you what did you what do you think? What did you think, Ralph?
Is actually just
I thought it must be about 7 days. Well, I afraid you are not right. The answer rather amazingly is actually just over days. Extra bonus for anyone who knew that the word was done in 1964 by someone called Randy Garner. That's extraordinary. It's difficult to estimate how it's made. Imagine even going a couple of days without sleep. But 11, I wonder how long sleep for after that. 7 14 hours and 30 minutes. You got on the answer, haven't you? Well, when I can't sleep, I get up and read trivia. And now it's time for the vocabulary. Today, our topic is having insomnia. This is the group for the condition of not being able to sleep, and something that people do they are trying to sleep is toss and turn in bed. The opposite that seem logical or obvious is counterintuitive. It's good again that's my expert, so if you can't sleep, get out of bed. Our next word is diluted. This is from the verb to dilute, which means to make something less strong. And finally, that's where the adjective chronic disease and references for medical conditions for long lasting. So someone who has chronic insomnia regularly has difficulty getting enough sleep. It's not just something that happens now and again. Well, we have that submitting English isn't good for insomnia, but I do find listening to podcast and spoken radio help me to get to sleep. Well, before we all drop off to sleep from comforting tone of your voice drop, it's time for us to say goodbye. That is for this program. For more, find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube Spares. And of course, our website bbclearning.com, where you can find all kinds of other programs, video, and activities to help you improve your English. Thanks for your journey and goodbye.